Hello everybody, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be interviewing Dan. So about a year ago I did like this Q&A with him about vegan food, non-vegan food, vegan lifestyle and all that sort of stuff. And we're going to do a little bit of part 2 to that today because some things have changed. So if you want to see that past interview and then my personal vegan story, I'll leave those videos linked above and below for you to check out later. But for now, it's about Dan. So first, let's talk about where you were a year ago and where you are now and how you came to be here. I think in that you were like vegetarian.
Yeah, I think I was mostly like a flexitarian.
And I think also like you still weren't to the point where you were eating vegan out either. You were still just vegan when I cooked.
No, I was, because
yeah?
It was November of 2019 when I decided to like quit cold turkey. I mean, and I've had spouts of going back to vegetarianism just because of necessity. Like there was not food available for me, milk or products that I couldn't avoid, and it was like it wasn't a main ingredient, it was just like contains.
Oh yeah.
So I tried to avoid it as much as possible. But in the last year, I'd say, pretty much fully plant-based. I still don't call myself a vegan, probably never will.
Why?
I don't like the stigma that comes along with it. I don't like the fact that I have to have a label that goes along with it.
And I know there's lots of people in the zero waste movement who are the same. They're just like, I just eat plants. I just don't eat animal products. Just because, you do that one thing that's not vegan and then the whole internet comes at you, so.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if anybody saw me on the street, I wear a leather belt.
Yeah.
And I've had this belt since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
Still fits me, still works great. I'm not getting rid of it.
Exactly. So why did you decide to give up all animal products?
Yeah, it was mostly to do with my studies for school. I saw
tell the people what you studied.
Oh, I studied environmental science with a concentration in fish and wildlife management. So needless to say that it has a lot to do with the environment, obviously. But it was during I don't remember, but it was during one of the projects that I had to do for my class. I was talking about the effects of animal agriculture and just agriculture in general on the environment and the effects that it had, and then that's when I really came to understanding. But basically the premise of that book is that human population growth is one of the driving factors of climate change. So in the book that I was introduced in the United States to the amount of land that we're using, I think it's like a third or a half, I forget the exact amount. It's a lot of the land that is used solely for animal pasturing and grazing. And that's just an outrageous amount of land because I'm a person that loves the outdoors, loves hiking, loves the woods. And once I figured out that like we could have more of those things and reverse climate change all at once by just eating less plants, I'm like, okay, I'll stop contributing to that because now I mean, I've always cared about the animals. I guess I haven't always cared about the animals. Like I cared, but it wasn't like a big part of it for me. And now, even now that I'm farther in, like I don't want to eat something shouldn't have to die for me to eat it. A life is a life if you think about it in the grand scheme of thing. And I look at it as we're supposed to take care of those animals, not eat them. We're supposed to be the caretakers of the environment, not the masters and the rulers of the environment.
We've been on a real Earthling Ed kick recently.
Yeah.
On YouTube, he's got some really good debates and good points about veganism. So if you're new to veganism or not, because we still enjoy his videos, we learned a lot from him. So I'll leave his channel linked below.
In my world, I'm surrounded by manly men, as they would like to call themselves. So being a vegan, I get a lot of nobody's like questioning me or calling me like a weakling or something dumb like that. But it's more of like, why would you want to do that? Meat's so good. And like his videos, Earthling Ed, that is, his videos, they help give me something to say. Like I like to debate. I've always liked debating. About not necessarily anything, but I like having intellectual conversations and not just believing in something solely because I like to have a conversation about why people think certain things. So his videos help me to have those conversations.
Yeah, definitely equip you with facts.
Give me somewhere to start looking for my own facts.
Yeah. So even going vegan as a woman, especially in the military, I would get a lot of like, you're vegan, or that doesn't taste vegan, like all these random off-the-wall vegan comments. But I think a lot more people expect women to be vegan, or just because the vegan community really is a lot of women. So how has it been? I don't know.
I mean, the marketing, the animal agricultural marketing is directed at men to be like, real men eat meat. Meat makes you strong. Meat makes you athletic. meat, like just meat. The meat industry is just aimed at men to try to make them feel masculine and make them feel like they're missing out if they're not eating meat.
Yeah. So you say you went vegan mostly for the environment, and
actually it started for health.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. So it's like it's the same for me. I went vegan mostly for the environment, but also why did you go vegan for your health, and like what health benefits have you seen?
Me going vegan actually started as a long-term science experiment on myself.
Oh yeah, I remember.
So my family historically, on both sides of my family, has high blood pressure issues, cancer, diabetes.
Standard American diseases. And I know through things that you've read and you've taught me about, as well as some of my own research, that a lot of those are connected directly to meat consumption. And so being a skeptic that I am, I like to see things firsthand and not just trust people solely because they say it. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to try it. So actually at one of my last doctor's appointments, they took my blood pressure, and I used to be sitting on the high end of the blood pressure scale, like borderline going high blood pressure. I forget, it was like hypertension, I think is what it's called. And now I sit towards the bottom. Like there was one time they actually took my blood pressure twice because they thought I had low blood pressure issues. It's nothing that affected me before anyways, so it's not like it was a big issue. But the big issue for me was joint pain. I'm very tall. I'm 6 foot, well, not very tall. I'm above average height. I'm 6'4", and I grew most of that height in less than 3 months throughout my life. So my joints have always, I don't know if that's why, but I've always had problems with my joints hurting from my knees, my ankles, and my hips. And it wasn't injuries, it wasn't like weightlifting, it wasn't anything. I just hurt all the time. And since switching, I have problems here and there, I think mostly from injuries or just not from sitting all day for the last year. But now I don't have those problems. My feet don't ever hurt anymore. My knees, they hurt off and on, but it's mostly when I've been kneeling for a long time at work or something. So yeah, that was the beginning of it. So I'm interested to see how it goes in the long term, to see if I continue to not have problems with blood pressure, to see things like that. And if it is true, it's hereditary, like things like high blood pressure and diabetes and stuff are hereditary, or if it's based off what you eat. So I'm interested for that too, just to see if we live longer than the average human, if we end up not having any of these diseases. But back to the joint pain. Meat actually causes inflammation, which is why it can cause joint pain, just for clarification.
Yeah, and then now it's kind of evolved. It evolved past that. Like I was like, once I started eating less meat, I started feeling like I didn't feel weighted down and heavy and disgusting. Like I haven't exercised in a year, and I'm still, my body is fit and toned. Right. I can still run, and I don't have to worry about like feeling tired. Like I can go for a mile run right now and be perfectly fine. And I haven't ran in a year. So my body just feels better and stronger, and like it's better equipped for life, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. That's something I noticed a lot eating plant-based, is that like every day when coworkers come back from lunch, they're always like, man, I'm so tired, I need a nap. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like I feel fine. What do you mean? But I'm like, oh yeah, it's because they eat meat. And then other stuff too, I joined this this group running program, and everyone was always so exhausted at the end of our like 45-minute workout, and I would just be like, okay, let's go some more. I feel perfectly fine. Yeah,
I noticed that on hikes and stuff with friends, like I was able to go on, I think it was like a 7-mile hike. I did half of it barefoot. I wasn't tired. I was sweating and tired. It was on a very hot island, so like, but I was able to keep going. Yeah. Like I wasn't physically exhausted. I was just, my muscles were just tired from being walking for 7 miles. So I think it's just interesting being around people and them seeing like, how are you able to do this and keep going? I don't know. It's just me. It's my food.
Yeah. I think that's been the craziest thing like the last year, because I haven't really worked out either. I used to be really big into like lifting and running when I did eat meat. And I still was like not seeing that great of results. But now I haven't really done a very rigorous workout in over a year. Not that I'm seeing results, but I'm not seeing myself fall back. You know, I feel the same as I did a year ago. Yep. Even though all I do is lightly jog and yoga. Yeah, and that's pretty much it too. Like I if anything, my body has become more toned, but I still have I feel like I still have the same muscle mass. I'm still, I haven't gotten any smaller. I've lost a little bit of weight, which I think that's just partially due to eating clean completely. Yeah. But yeah, overall I feel perfectly healthy. Yeah, I think that's something to point out too, is we eat mostly whole foods plant-based and not so much like Beyond Meat and vegan pizza and vegan chicken. Like we eat mostly rice, vegetables, fruits.
Yeah, the way I like it.
Yeah, and it's still good. You don't have to have all these fancy vegan products to eat delicious food.
Yeah, it's cheaper that way too.
Oh yeah, to talk about. I don't know if you have any final thoughts. I know we ended the video last time with your advice for new vegans, but I don't know if you have any more advice for new vegans or people who are interested in becoming plant-based, not necessarily vegan because of the label, just mostly eating better for themselves and the planet.
I would say directed at men. Just educate yourself. Like if you're interested in doing it, don't be worried about what other people think.
Yeah.
That's just be comfortable with yourself and what your choices are. I've had a lot of friends that are like, why are you doing that? That's stupid. That's not how the body's designed to work. You need meat. All these scientific bodies say that you need meat. But I mean, now there's a bunch of scientific bodies saying that a vegan diet is completely, perfectly healthy.
Yeah.
And you don't need meat. So I just say educate yourself on the things that you want to know about to be able to refute the just crazy claims that some people come up with. Stick with it. I mean, people's opinions, stick with yourself and what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something too, like when I first went vegan, I never told anybody because I was afraid of what people thought. So it's becoming more popular, veganism, vegetarian, plant-based. So it's becoming more of a norm in our society. So I think people are less likely to just jump on you and attack you for what you eat, which is ridiculous. But at the same time, even if people do it, they're going to get sick of making fun of you. Especially what I did when people made fun of me, I would laugh too. And when they saw that they weren't getting a reaction on me, like a negative reaction, they're like, "Oh, okay, this isn't funny anymore.
Yeah.
No more making fun of you."
Yeah, I'm always quick to question people about like, okay, cool. Why do you believe that about me? Why do you think that about me? And it's really funny when people are like, "You're a vegan?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not a vegan. I just eat plants. Just don't eat meat."
I'm gonna start saying I'm an herbivore.
I'm an herbivore. I will never call myself a vegan because I don't see why I need to have a label for my food. You want to call yourself a carnivore? Like, you don't see people walking around saying, "I'm an omnivore. I'm a carnivore." Right. Like,
I eat what I want.
I eat plants. Cool.
I just use it for the sake of brevity. It's just quicker to say than I eat whole foods, plant-based. I don't eat any animal products. I'm vegan.
I say I eat plant-based. I don't eat meat or animal products.
It definitely depends on who I'm talking to as well. Because like if I am talking to a bunch of military guys, I'm not going to say I'm vegan. But if I'm talking to a bunch of my friends on the internet, I'll just use vegan because they know.
Yeah.
So, last question just for fun. What vegan food are you looking forward to most when we move back to the States?
Mexican, hands down. Good Mexican food. So Japan has some fantastic food. They don't make good Mexican food.
Yeah. We're going to get tacos tonight.
Yeah, they're good, but they're not like, it's not American quality Mexican.
It's like New York style tacos.
California. No, I want a big hearty like burrito.
With refried beans.
Yep, refried beans and all the goodness.
Endless chips and salsa.
Yep.
Are there any like vegan products you're looking forward to? Because we don't have very many vegan products here. So anything like that, like
I'm looking forward to a wider selection of ice cream.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yep, I do enjoy ice cream.
Yeah.
And here we have 5 flavors?
We had only one flavor for the longest time, and they just gave us like 3 more. If you're a new vegan, don't fall for lactose free. I don't know how they do it. They just remove the lactose from the milk, but they still use dairy milk.
Yeah, I'm glad we started our vegan adventure here.
Yes, so then we have something to look forward to.
Yeah, because I feel like starting in the States and then coming here would suck. I have friends that did that.
Thankfully, veganism is becoming more popular in Japan, but especially Okinawa, because Okinawa gets so many tourists. Like, I think when I first went vegan here, we had like Esparza's.
Small, like maybe 10 restaurants at the most.
At least. But now we have, almost every restaurant now has at least a vegan option, and they're even more...
Or at least a vegetarian option. They can be like no cheese.
Exactly, yeah. And there's so many more vegan restaurants here too. So if you have any questions for us about veganism, our journeys, and if you want any resources for health, the environment, the animals, let me know. I was just going to say, I wish that more people would give vegan a chance. Just, even if it's just one vegan meal a day, one vegan day a week, something, just to prove that veganism doesn't taste bad. I hate when people are like, ew, vegan? Like, they don't even care about...
It's more than just a salad.
But also, just because I know so many people in our lives who are struggling with health problems that could easily be solved. Not even necessarily less meat probably would help, but just more vegetables.
Yeah.
The standard American diet really is sad.
Yep.
That's why they call it that, the sad diet. It's so ironic. So if you're watching this and you're not vegan yet, I encourage you to eat more plants. Plants are good for you. Plants are good for the planet. Plants are good for you. I already said that.
Yeah. Our generation will be the ones that
Gen
decide the ecological health of the future of this planet.
That's all that I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun. You should join my discussions more if you want.
Okay.
It's totally up to you.
Okay. I can do that if people like it.
Yeah, let me know if you like having Dan in the videos. It doesn't have to be like vegan interviews. It could be like if I were to talk about greenwashing or recycling. It might be fun to have your commentary on as well.
Okay.
As an environmental expert. Because out of the both of us, he got his degree in environmental science. I didn't.
Yeah, degrees don't make you smarter.
Thank you for watching. If you like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you want to see Dan in any more of the videos. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe. I post new content every Thursday, Japan Standard Time, which is Wednesday in the US, and talk about all sorts of things from veganism to zero waste and everything in between. And until next time, remember that these small changes you make have a big impact in the long run. Bye, guys.
Bye. I think so.
I think Breyer's has a vanilla or cookies and cream.
I think it was a cookies and cream.
We should try it.
But theirs came in a whole 2 pint, not those small little cookies.
You don't want more ice cream?
I mean, we can have more ice cream. But I've enjoyed having the multiple, small cups of different flavors. All we are saying is give vegan a chance.
What song is that?
You never heard that? It's give peace a chance? I don't know.
No.
I'll have to find it.
I think that's all my questions. Thank you for joining me today.
I'm not shaking your hand. That's weird.
Do we have to go back to the commissary now?
I mean, that's where they have ice cream.
We can get milk over there. Oh gosh, it's only 3:30. It feels like midnight.
Feels like